Welcome to Canadian football. Wide open, fast, different. You'll love it. Hello, I'm Ron Lancaster, head coach of the Edmonton Eskimo Football Club. I've been around the Canadian Football League for over 3 decades. I've seen a lot of great athletes and a lot of great action. They've been playing this game in Canada for over 100 years.
There goes the pass. It's going, and he's got it on 5. He's over for a touchdown.
For Winnipeg's Bud Grant and quarterback Ken Plain, it had been a season of rebuilding a team that had dominated Western football for years. Regina's Ron Lancaster had been pulling miracles out of the fire all year, and Coach Eagle Keys had his boys thinking like winners.
In fact, the 80th Grey Cup Championship was played in 1992. From the beginning, it's been wide open, and it still is. The game is different. The field is bigger, it's longer, and it's wider. There's a 55-yard line, and the end zones are 20 yards deep. The goalposts are on the goal line, but there's one more player on the field for a total of 12. There are only 3 downs, one less than the American game. On offense, it's like starting every series, 2nd and 10 yards to go. There's a lot more territory to cover on both sides of the ball. If that's not enough, you create space, and that's at the line of scrimmage. And for the punt returners, catch it and run, take off, have fun with it. The bigger field and 3 downs mean offensive strategy is built around a strong-arm quarterback who's mobile and can throw on the run. There are only 20 seconds between plays. It's another reason why the CFL game is quicker. When you watch CFL football, the first thing you'll see is motion. Lots of it. It's part of the strategy. Try to get the defense going one way, and then you go the other. Sounds simple? Take a look.
For the offense, the movement allows guys that are probably the 4.6s, 4.7 slot backs to become a 4.4 guy, because you get the running start, time it up, and now you're ready to run, and the DB's flat-footed. It allows you to confuse the defense or outflank defensive linemen sometimes. And you can widen holes, widen defensive ends, widen linebackers, things of that nature, and allows a quarterback also to read coverage that much easier. Take a running back, run him out wide. If a linebacker runs with him, it's man-to-man coverage, and he can come run him back.
Speed and quickness, that athletic ability coaches talk about all the time, are the keys to success. There are big guys too. They have to be nimble because they line them up a yard apart before the start. After that, just let them loose and let's play football. In the CFL, defense can mean pass coverage. 5 defensive backs, 2 cornerbacks, 2 halfbacks, and 1 safety. And they have a lot of territory to cover. So you want to be a defensive back in the CFL? Be quick, be tough, and be there.
12th man beat me up when I first got up here. I had a hard time accounting for him because in the States, it has a strong safety, which is when you have an odd number out there, they have to declare one side strong or weak. In NFL, they count the sideline as a 12th man, where here, the 12th man is on the field.
There's a Sam, a Mac, and a Will on every football team. That's coach's talk for the three linebackers. Sam means strong, and strong means to the wide side of the field. Will used to be called weak side, but now means short side, for short side of the field. Mac, which means middle linebacker, and Mac patrols the middle.
Being a smaller linebacker, you don't have to get down in the trenches as much. It's more of a finesse game, and it takes a special type of person to play this game because you always have to think on the run. It's a lot quicker game. The 20-second time clock where we had 45 seconds down in the States, you have to think and always be on your toes and always thinking and moving, and with the constant motion, that's always going. So it's helped me take my game to another level.
The kicking game is different, and for you, the fan, I think the biggest difference you'll see between the American game and the Canadian game is in the kicking. A single point can be scored on kickoffs, punts, and missed field goals. If the ball is not run out of the end zone, or if it is punted through the end zone, or when a player concedes a single point, it is called a rouge. Now, on to field goals. In the Canadian Football League, the kicker uses a tee to kick his field goals or converts. 3 points if you make it. But you can get a single point or a rouge if you miss it. The ball can be kicked out of the end zone, or the defender can catch it and decide not to run it out of the end zone on a missed field goal attempt and concede the single point. A convert or extra point following a touchdown in the Canadian Football League can be very interesting. You can go for 1 or 2 points. 1 point by kicking, 2 points by running or completing a pass in the end zone. However, this is where the convert attempt can get very interesting. If the kick is blocked, or a fumble occurs on the running play, or the pass is intercepted, the defensive team can run the ball all the way down the field to the other end zone, and they would score the 2 points. If tackled before reaching the end zone, the play is dead, no points are awarded, and the team that scored the touchdown kicks off. However, this play can work to the offense's advantage. Let me tell you how. Last year in a game with the Hamilton Tiger Cats at Ivor Wynne Stadium in Hamilton, the Eskimos were trailing the Tiger Cats by 6 points with about 5 or 6 seconds left in the game. We scored the touchdown, which tied the score. Now, all we have to do is kick the extra point or the convert to win the football game. On the snap for the extra point, Hamilton blocked the extra point. The ball hit the ground, and our holder, who was also our punter, Glenn Harper, not only did he reach down and catch the football, but he reached down and picked up the tee. He carried both of them into the end zone, untouched. We get 2 points. We win the game by 2. I know you wonder why we talk about picking up the tee, but the way things have been lately, if he hadn't picked up the tee and it would have gotten lost, we would have charged him $3 for that kicking tee. The team scored on has 3 options following a successful field goal. They can receive a kickoff, they can scrimmage the ball first down on their own 35-yard line, or they can kick off from their 35-yard line. Now, even though the rule says that you can kick off from your own 35-yard line after a field goal has been scored on you, this rule certainly doesn't come into play very often. In fact, as I said earlier, I've been around this league for over 30 years. I've only seen it done once. And that occurred in a game quite a few years ago now where we were trailing by 10 points with about 12 seconds left in the game. We scored a touchdown, kicked the extra point, cut the deficit to 3. So while we were making plans on the sidelines to attempt a short kick to try to gain possession of the ball, the other team made a decision of their own. They elected to kick off from their 35-yard line. When they kicked the ball deep down the field and we turned it, we only had time for one play, the game ended, and we lost by 3 points. So even though it is a rule, I wouldn't look for it in too many of the games this season. Let's talk punting. A lot of strange things happen in this part of the game. One, there's no fair catch in the Canadian Football League. 2, no defender can be closer than 5 yards to the punt returner until he touches the ball. A punt in the Canadian Football League cannot be down by the kicking team. The punt must be returned by the punt returner. The reason for this? The punter does not have to give 5 yards and can run down, recover his own kick, and gain a first down for his team. Also, any player standing behind the punter when the ball is kicked can also recover the kick for a first down. Okay, now let me explain to you just how this can happen. First, you got to remember something. You don't always get to play football in Sacramento where the weather's nice. I don't think you guys really know where you're coming to play football this season. We have places like Calgary, Saskatchewan, Winnipeg, where you're going to be looking at some wind of approximately 30, 35 miles an hour. So this is where a play like this comes into being. What happens is this. Number one, you have to meet the rule of having 7 men on the line of scrimmage, which we do. Now we can take the other 5 and put them anywhere we want. So what we've done, we have 2 up backs and a kicker. But we've taken the last 2 people and we've put them behind the kicker. Now you say, why do that? Well, if you're punting the ball into a very, very strong wind, a lot of things can happen. One, you can kick the ball high, your linemen run down, the ball blows back, they try to get out of the way to give that 5 yards and not get a penalty, the guy catches it and runs for a touchdown. Secondly, just kicking the ball into the wind, sometimes it'll knock the ball right out of the air. So if it's going to knock it out of the air, let's take a chance. Maybe you may recover it and get a first down. So the rule says this: the kicker and any player lined up or standing behind him when he kicks the ball is eligible to go down and recover the ball and get a first down for your team. So what happens? The kicker kicks the ball in this area. Number 11 and 12, these 2 guys are behind him. When that ball is kicked, they are entitled to run directly to the football. The rules say these 3 people do not have to give 5 yards, so they can go inside that 5-yard radius, and they can go directly to the football. And if it hits the ground, you have just as good a chance to recover it as they do. And if you do, it's a first down. You control the ball just a little bit longer against some pretty heavy wind. Unlike the American game, there are no touchbacks either in the Canadian Football League. There are 3 options when a punt goes into the end zone. 1, run the ball out and take possession. First down at the point tackled, no point. 2, catch the ball, give up the point, and take possession at your own 35-yard line, first down. Catch the ball and kick the ball out of the end zone. This usually only happens at the end of the game and when the score is tied. Now I want to tell you a story about this business of kicking the ball in and out of the end zone at the end of a game. It really does happen. In fact, in 1972 at Winnipeg Stadium, in the Western Final, a game between the Saskatchewan Roughriders and the Winnipeg Blue Bombers, this was a big part of the football game. And I'm sure John Payne, the offensive line coach with you in Sacramento, will remember this story very well because he was our coach. Anyway, the score was tied at 24 with no time on the clock. We had the football on about the Winnipeg 29-yard line and attempted a field goal. The kick went wide. The defensive back for Winnipeg, now not wanting to give up a single point and lose the game, he kicked the ball out of the end zone. We caught the football and punted it back into the end zone. Again, the defensive back for Winnipeg caught the ball and punted it back out of the end zone. However, this time, when we caught the punt and we caught that ball coming out of the end zone, Winnipeg did not give us 5 yards to return the ball, which is against the rules. A flag was thrown. We got a penalty, a re-kick. Game was over. We kicked the field goal, beat Winnipeg 27-24, won the West, and went on to the Grey Cup. So, there's lots to look for in Canadian football. The size of the field dictates the strategy. The 3 downs allow for a wide-open style of play dominated by the pass. And quarterbacks are strong-armed, mobile, and the ability to throw on the run. There are 12 players, unlimited motion, room to scramble. All CFL quarterbacks scramble. Room to catch and return punts. A rouge. A 2-point conversion. Only one 30-second timeout per team per half. If the score is tied at the end of regulation time, there is no sudden death overtime. There is overtime, and it consists of 2 5-minute halves of football. Wide open, longer, wider, faster. Canadian football. Catch it. You'll love it.